Hi everyone. My name is Cece, and I'm just trying to find the right screen to share. There it is. Uh, my name's Cece. I'm Woodcraft Folk's individual giving fundraiser, and this is a webinar telling you all about Residential Adventures, our upcoming match funding fundraising campaign in the end of November, and how you can help. So, oh, oh no, very unprofessional of me. I'm very sorry. Uh, we'll just do this. There we go. So today, I'm going to tell you first about the campaign, what it is we're fundraising for, how the campaign works. Then we're going to talk a bit about how some groups are helping us with booking donations and using donations for their camp fees at Cudham to help boost match funding. Then we're going to talk about how you can run a fundraising event for a match funding campaign and how you can kind of boost the income that you get from that. Just some general fundraising advice, obviously catered towards this one in specific, but would be very helpful for you and your groups in anything you're doing, I imagine. And then other things that groups and districts and individual volunteers and young members can do to help boost this challenge, help us get the word out to more people, and help us get as much match funding as we can. So, Residential Adventures. It is part of the Christmas Challenge, which is the Big Gives match funding campaign. It's the biggest match funding campaign in the UK, and it means that every donation that's donated to Residential Adventures gets doubled by our funders. So every £5 someone gives, we actually get £10 back, which is amazing. And we're fundraising to help more children and young people attend Woodcraft Folk camps and residentials across 2023. We're doing that mainly through removing financial barriers for children and young people. So introducing bursaries or free places for those in most need, and also running more volunteering trainings, again, with bursaries and free places, so that we can help more volunteers be able to run residentials and therefore get out to more young people in more diverse regions of the country than those who would be able to afford volunteering for training for themselves. The reason we're focused on residential ventures at the moment is, well, it's what Woodcraft does very well. We're really good at it. We've got our centres that we have so many amazing experiences at, and groups go off on their own and do other experiences. I'm joining Eastern Region in Thorpe Woodlands next week, which I'm really looking forward to. Woodcraft does residentials and camps really well. It's a key core part of our ethos about getting children and young people out into nature, staying there, working and exploring and playing in nature. A recent survey by Natural England found that since the pandemic, 60% of children and young people have spent less time outdoors. There's also been a huge rise recently in the number of children seeking mental health support. And there's a key link there between the lack of playtime, the lack of outdoor space, and the rise we're seeing along with everything else in the pandemic. Add that to the current cost of living, and many families are not able to add child goes to a fun weekend with Woodcraft Folk to their family budget. So Woodcraft Folk in 2023 will be putting on 30,000 night stays, which is a number I can't quite wrap my head around, but that's amazing across all of our centres. And so we want to be able to provide bursaries for some of those nights to the children and young people who would most benefit from it. We want to hopefully provide those spaces for 2,000 residentials, which would be a massive amount for us. We also want to provide 40 training spaces for volunteers to learn how best to run residentials for their own groups. The campaign itself, which I mentioned about match funding, and it's the Christmas Challenge. between the 29th of November and the 6th of December. So it's a very small time window designed to kind of get a big amount going, big effort, get everybody involved, know that now is the time when you donate and it makes the most impact, because in that week, every donation on our donation page is doubled. Which to me is very important and means that for people who might want to donate to Woodcraft Folk, might support our message, this is a really great time to encourage them to do so, because they'll have double the impact they would be able to have at any other time of year. We're aiming for a total of 20,000, which will fund, as I've said, bursaries, free places, volunteer training, also equipment costs, activity costs, things like food and minibus hire, and keeping the lights on at Lockerbrook, generally to support our residential activity. So that's Residential Adventures, and then here are some things that you can help with. So this is mainly aimed at the people who I've already talked to about this, but it's something that we may be doing again in the future. So far, it seems like it could be quite successful. So I'll let you know again, and we may see if this works well, and see if we can do more of it in the future. Basically, most groups ask for donations to camp if people are able to provide. They do that so that some people will hopefully be able to pay a bit more than a suggested donation, and that means that those who aren't able to pay that suggested donation don't have a barrier to attending camp, and that's really important. What we realized is that we could donate those fees that we normally donate to the centres, because everything's coming back to Woodcraft Folk. If we donate it on to campaign, Residential Adventures, it gets match funded. So you pay your camp fee for your pioneer to go on camp, and match funders come in and they give us enough money for another pioneer to go on camp, and you didn't have to pay any more. So some groups from Bright Helmstone are going to be doing this. It's going to be really exciting that they're going to kind of make it so that parents are paying for their kind of camp donations online through the Residential Adventures. It'll get match funded, and then we'll sort out on the back end how they get their camp fees back and kind of take money off the centre bookings in the end. Very simple. We've kind of got all the information that the groups need to know. So we've kind of put together information you can send out to parents about the campaign and how they do it. Really, it's like any other donation. It's just that in this case, the parents need to let the group know that they have donated, so that the group can kind of tick it off their list and let us know who we're looking for. And with probably about the same amount of effort as you would do for any other camp donation, we get double the money coming in for no more money coming out of our parents and carers' pockets, which is amazing. So other ways we can fundraise for Residential Adventures is through events, and lots of groups do this for various different reasons. We had great success over the summer months, I know, for people who are fundraising for Common Ground. So lots of success there, which is really exciting. But if you don't do events, like, they're always a really fun thing to do. They're not kind of, you're not going to get like the funding for, 5 new tents for your district from it, but you will kind of really support, and you can generally raise, I think people kind of give a kind of rough estimate of about £100 for a fundraising event, which can really make a big impact, especially if you donate that £100 to the Residential Adventures campaign and it gets doubled by our match fundraisers. So that's why we're encouraging people to do fundraising events in this period, because everyone loves a good Christmas fundraiser. It'll always be popular, but also, your elfin Christmas cookie sale that makes 50 quid will make 100 quid with the exact same fun that your elfins have from making it, and the responsibility they get from experimenting and running an event, making the biscuits for it. That's what they do, and you get twice the amount of money. You can tell I'm very excited about match funding. So run an event as we normally would. The event can be run at any time up until the 4th of December. And then we ask that means finish by that point, so that kind of a representative from your group can make a donation on the 5th of December before the challenge closes on the 6th. So you make a bulk donation, so you collect all the money and then give it to one person, and they then pay online by credit card, or credit or debit card, sorry, on behalf of the group. So you can't gift aid it because it's not from you, it's from everyone who donated to the event. And simple as that. And then you kind of doubled your group's fundraising efforts. If you are going to run an event, please email me. Let me know, because I would love to advertise it, love to let people know what we're doing, celebrate the fundraising efforts of our group. And also I can kind of send you, we've made a poster for this fundraiser that you can kind of put your details, you know, our event's taking place here at this time, this date. So you can put them up, you know, with all the fun Christmas challenge editing and all of that stuff. And you know, happy to support in any way I can. So some more support for that is we've got a selection of really great resources online. I am in the process of moving some of this from our old website, so some of these are a bit wonky, these links, but you're still able to access them, and soon enough they will be on the new website. So if you follow these links, completely accessible. And also I've made a resource page on the new website that's called Residential Adventures Resources. You can find it under our projects, and it has all of these on it, so you don't have to go looking through the old sites to find it. But basically, we've got a bunch of resources. We've got images that you can share about the campaign, as I mentioned, the posters, but things you can put on social media or your emails as well. You can edit those flyers. We've got paragraphs just to explain what you're doing to the parents and young members of your group. We've got information about how to run events. So we've got ideas for what fundraising events you might want to run, as inspired by Woodcraft Folk events of the past from various different groups across the country. We've got sponsor forms if you want to do sponsored something. We've got risk assessment guidance. We've got case studies. So all of that is on there. Basically, Woodcraft Folk's been around a long time. We've had a success through fundraising events, and we've all, you know, across the country come together to put those resources where we can all get at them together. Also, I'd really recommend this PTA site for fundraising ideas. Obviously, PTAs are a treasure trove of fundraising events and fundraising success, and they've got really detailed information and lots of great case studies. So if you're looking for something new to try, definitely go there. And also definitely ask others for support. Come to me. You can email me at fundraising@woodcraftfolk.org.uk, and also other woodcraft folks. You know, there may be people in your district who've done it, but also there are definitely other groups around in other districts who've done a lot of fundraising experience, and who'll be happy to share. So there are always more ways to share, and if you are not up for a fundraising event, if that's kind of not able to fit into your schedule at the moment, which understandable, there are definitely other things that your group or district can do to really help boost this campaign. Firstly, share it. You know, make sure that it's not just you, the group leader, who knows what's going on. It's really important for the young members of your group to know what we're fundraising for and how we're doing it and how they can help, because this is to help maybe some of those people in your group, to help others who are like them across the country who want to come and do the amazing residential experiences that Woodcraft offers, and that I'm sure your group has gone on in similar ones in the past. So let the young members know what's going on. Definitely tell their parents and their families, because they are our biggest audience, our biggest supporters in terms of donation is children and young people's families. We could also ask if you could pass this on to your workplace or your union. Many employers, for example, will have a kind of their own match funding system, where if an employer donates to a charity, an employee donates to a charity, their employer will match that donation to kind of support the causes that matter to their employees. And your union, local branch of your union, may wish to support Woodcraft Folk, as we are kind of training the trade unionists of tomorrow, and doing really great cooperative work with young people. There's more information on trade union affiliation available. If you'd like to know, please email me, but always approach them and ask if they'd like to support us. We really, as organizations, we are very closely linked in our ideas of cooperation and friendship. And also, your group itself can really help us by telling stories. We definitely can never get enough stories of what actual children and young people in Woodcraft Folk have done, what they've loved about woodcraft. Have they got photos of them being on camp? Have they got videos? We love videos. Always send us videos. You know, ask your group members why they like woodcraft. Ask your group members what's their best memories from camp. Have you got videos of them playing wide games? You know, this is all stuff that we know as members of Woodcraft Folk, and we know what we love. And of course, for us, it's like, why wouldn't you want to help more kids go on residentials? But I think for people who are outside of Woodcraft Folk, who just might not know so much what we do, they know that it's a youth group. Oh, you meet on Wednesday nights, right? But they don't have this idea of the whole general ethos of our camping, the camping part of our activities. And so the more we can tell people, the more we can show them how we're all having such a great time and really what it means to the children and young people that we support. The more we can convince them to part with their cash, which is very important. You know, any motivation we can help people understand why it is that we want to support more children and young people to go on Woodcraft Folk residentials is amazing. So yeah, do please tell us stories, photos, videos. Let me know. My email address is fundraising@woodcraftfolk.org.uk. So yeah, that's the Christmas challenge. Come to the end of my little presentation. I'll stop recording in a minute and take some questions. Yeah, I'm very excited about what we can do with this. We had our first match funding campaign in June, and it was really successful. And this one's our first nationwide campaign, and I think we can make a massive difference. And I'm really hoping we can get to that 20,000 figure. That's our goal, and really open up a lot of residentials to more children and young people across the country. Yeah, and hopefully with your help. So thank you very much. And oh no, that was just stopping the sharing. Of course it was. There it is. Thank you.